welcome to the next video in the Ad Sales Management series. I'm Joe Hooper, Senior Director of Industry Products and Solutions at V2. I head up our media cloud practice and very excited today to speak with Stan Shaul. He is a Principal Solution Engineer at Salesforce, and we're going to be talking a little bit more deeply about Media Cloud and the value that it offers to media customers. So Stan, do you want to give a quick introduction?
Sure. So Stan Shaul, I am based out in Los Angeles, but I am a Principal Solutions Engineer on the Media Cloud team over at Salesforce and come with many, many years in the media industry, and just want to talk a little bit about Media Cloud and what we have to offer.
Awesome. So very exciting today, and I understand you got some presentation that you're gonna take us through today. So let's get into it.
Perfect. So I'm going to introduce you to Media Cloud, and Media Cloud really comes back from the verticalization of Salesforce. Sales Cloud and Service Cloud really is what people already know about Salesforce in terms of the underlying CRM. And what we've done is really look to verticalize that as a solution. So before I start, let me just throw this out. Salesforce is a publicly traded company. So we always tell our customers or tell people that we're demonstrating to that please take into account that some of the things we are talking about are in the future, and make sure you use that in terms of making decisions that come into play. And again, thank you for listening. Hope you find this informative, and let's go from here. So let's take a look at the entire ecosystem of Salesforce. Now, Salesforce itself originally is thought of as a CRM, but as it's progressed over the years, it really is an entire ecosystem that will talk to a customer, whether that's a B2B or B2C customer, from the marketing side with Marketing Cloud, to the service side with Service Cloud, commerce, have analytics come into play, integration to third-party systems, platform integration as well too, and lately Slack as well too. And where Media Cloud comes to play is really the strategy to verticalize what exists with Salesforce, as well as work with all those products. So you can think of it in terms of the ability to speak to your customers and then take them through guided experiences that are really specific to the media space, leveraging all of these tools as well as the tools that we have in Media Cloud. Now, what we see in terms of media trends right now are really grouped and organized in terms of these 5 elements. So right now we find that the customer is at the center of the media business. And it's very, very, very changed, very transformative right now. So we're seeing a shift of going directly to the consumer. We're seeing data and privacy come into play, especially first-party data and third-party data. We're seeing that things are changing from traditional ways of shopping to things like live stream shopping. And really the goal here for most of these media companies is, how do I maximize customer lifetime value with all of these different opportunities and changes? We also see the advertising ecosystem coming more into play so that we leverage customers' eyeballs wherever we have them. And you're seeing things coming into play in terms of how we speak to customers. Now, we have CDPs where we're collecting information about a given customer and knowing what they are, what their preferences are, and then trying to figure out better ways to actually speak to that customer through ads and targeted options in terms of offers, things like that. And we're converging to an audience-first approach. We're really looking at understanding our audiences and looking to provide personalized experiences directly to the person at that given time. We're also finding out that automation comes into play, especially in media operations. How do we do things more efficiently? Data is becoming more and more relevant these days. And you see that with these data lakes and houses, and how do we analyze them to make better and smarter decisions? We also see community coming into play, especially with things like social media, creator economy, where you're looking at content that used to be primarily first primarily done by studios now being UGC and user-centric, and those are coming into play. We're finding global communities, and we're finding the ability for new products to come into play very quickly. And then looking down into the future, we're looking at things like the metaverse. These are products that are coming down the road. There'll be new opportunities for media companies to leverage the content they already have to the audiences they have, and also get new audiences and garner new audiences. Now, in terms of the areas where Media Cloud is really focused, these are really the 6 areas where we're putting our energy. And the first is digital process automation, or DPA. And the idea is to provide a digital tool set that allows you to build experiences on top of the Salesforce platform for B2B and B2C customers. It might be a consumer-facing experience, or it might be something that's directly to maybe a customer service team or to a B2B operation in the media space. Now, in the subscription space, we're looking at a variety of areas. You see today, subscription played a big role, especially in the last 2 years with COVID coming to play and people really spending their money on subscriptions. It's a great way to get recurring revenue. But again, it's very easy for customers to switch from one place to another. So things like churn management, or being able to put the right opportunities in front of a customer at a given time, being crucial to both maintaining your existing audience and garnering new customers. We look at the advertising sales space, and we see that revenue is really increasing there, especially when you start to maximize revenue from subscribers. How do I go ahead and garner and speak to the eyeballs that we have and optimize our advertising revenue, speak to those audiences, and also be very, very forward-looking and scalable, so that when new products come into play, we have ways to actually get them out to our teams, to our products out there, to the content that we're providing, and monetize them as soon as possible. As we mentioned before, we look at community engagement too, comes critically into play, whether that's social media, private communities, or even the traditional communities where people are watching TV and actually having conversations between each other. Lots of things in terms of engagement there, and then how do we speak to those communities as well, both as a whole and maybe to individuals through personalization. And then stuff that we have, which we're actually not so much focused on right now, but comes into play, are studio operations. How do we deal with media companies that are pre-production to post-production operations, and how do we handle that efficiently so that things are streamlined, managed, and everybody can have the right business workflows in there. And then content sales. People are generating and creating this content. How do you best manage that content, monetize that content, merchandise it, and sell that to people both domestically and internationally? Okay, so let's get into the architecture. So the Media Cloud architecture is really a layered architecture, and we'll go through the layers from the bottom level framework all the way up. So let's start off with the base. And the base really is a set of data models. So these are data models that are built specifically for the media business, subscribers, advertisings, and structures that talk to your Salesforce data around those operations. Developer tools to create guided experiences, to speak to your Salesforce data, to speak to your data in third-party systems like inventory systems or data lakes. Visualization tools to show things like, for example, relationships between accounts to other accounts and accounts to contacts. And a good example might be agency relationships to sub-agencies, or if you're in the OTT space, maybe it's a household and understanding which contacts are in the household and what products do they have. Integration procedures to connect to your outgoing systems, and then UI, user interface, cards and visual tools to let you easily build experiences either in the Salesforce community itself or in customer-facing communities like Salesforce communities. So let's start with a data model. And we'll just do a light overview of that. But really what we've done here is taken a look at the type of operations in the media space, primarily subscribers, and in the advertising space on the supply side and the demand side, and built core data structures on top of what comes with the standard Salesforce core data structure. So we've extended the data structures, the data object itself, and we've also created new custom objects that have really been tried and true to the type of operations that go on. Probably 100 years of man time in building these, coming from the team that actually built the data models behind Siebel and actually control the data models in the Salesforce environment as too. So core to the Salesforce data model, so it's totally compatible with existing or brownfield systems, but it will work very seamlessly with new greenfield and new solutions that are coming out. Then we also have our Omni Studio tools, and they're a set of tools to optimize and create agile omni-channel experiences. So I'll start on the left-hand side. OmniScript, it's a declarative tool that lets you build guided experiences, drag and drop, to either surface directly to your customers or to your internal team. So great examples might be a support person having a guided flow when somebody needs help, making sure you have guardrails in and taking through the right steps and asking the right questions. Or you may have something a little more sophisticated, like putting together a media plan for a sales planner, where you actually take them through and actually build the media plan itself with the right pricing strategies, discounting strategies. Again, easy to modify, easy to deploy, omni-channel, so it can be displayed in multiple environments. Flex cards, which are, again, drag and drop user interfaces that can be surfaced in your Salesforce community, great ways to surface your information in a really friendly, customizable look and feel. Data Raptors, it's a simple ETL tool to speak to your Salesforce data without actually having to write things like SOCO code. Just go ahead, a declarative tool, picking the fields that you want and actually having it surface that data. And that could be pulling data, pushing data, or manipulating data. Integration procedures, tools to go ahead and speak to outside data via APIs or via other data sources. And then on the right side, they're really developer tools to actually go ahead and increase the agility of your development team, give you insight into what's going on with your users, and tools to go ahead and let you move metadata in and out of your Salesforce environment. So let's talk about the 4 different areas that Media Cloud really focuses in terms of fully functional applications that are built on top of the platform. And those are really subscriber lifecycle management, and that's really tools to provide experiences and manage your customers that you subscribe to. And that could be a publisher, could be an OTT environment, could be a retailer. So tool sets to go ahead and manage those experiences and support those experiences. Advertising sales management, and that's the ability to both handle and build converged media plans, execute on those plans, and that involves everything from actually building the plan, negotiating the plan, quoting it and pricing it out, taking it to paper with an insertion order, and then flighting it, and then managing the campaign when it's in progress, and then analytics tools to actually see how performant it is and to collect the actual data so you know how much money you're really making. Media commerce management, which is the ability to actually ask for things like credit cards and sell things. And then licensing and rights management is the ability to actually go ahead and monetize the content and manage the content that you might have. So this is the actual stack that's involved. Now we've talked about the base, and the base consists of really 3 elements. The media data model, which we discussed, the multi-party model, which is the ability to actually give you insight into relationships between contacts to contacts, accounts to contacts, and accounts to accounts. And you can think of that, as I mentioned before, in terms of agencies and how sub-agencies are involved and who works for those agencies, or things about the household where you have a number of people that might have different accounts, and how do you visualize it and know which accounts belong to which particular person, and then surface experiences specific to that person. And then Omni Studio, which is those tools we talked about, which are essentially tools to help speed up guided flows, access to your data, and surface solutions to your team. Now, go up to the next level, and the next level really are the pitch-to-pay solutions that are around. And these are very, very mature products, been around for about 8 years, and they consist of everything that takes the experience from the top of the funnel, from the time you actually collected an opportunity to actually getting people to surface that opportunity, pay for that opportunity, and then monetize that opportunity. And that consists of an enterprise product catalog or an EPC. And that's really where you define your products. So the products might be an ad in the case of an advertisement, a sales solution. It might be a movie that you're playing on a OTT service. But the ability to define the product, define the attributes with the product, meaning the elements, the sizing, maybe the creative, maybe elements that need to happen when you actually flight an ad, rights around that particular product. The next thing is the CPQ or configure price quote engine. And that really takes those products and allows you to put a pricing and rules engine around it. So rules about how you can discount, how you can price it. Sophistication, like for example, in the advertising space, it might be rate cards. You might have to go to a programmatic solution where you're actually looking and pulling in real-time pricing as well too, but the ability to build that sophistication into play. Also the ability to build promotions, discounting, and bundling. So the ability to actually combine products together in terms of a bundle and then discount appropriately and present appropriately. Then order management, which is really what happens when you actually create an order. How do you service that order? What needs to happen when that order goes into effect? Think of it in terms of, if I flight a media plan, think of it, what needs to happen in terms of the media plan? What needs to go out there to speak to our downstream systems? Do we need to reserve inventory? Do we need to speak to a downstream OMS or a downstream trafficking system? Do we need to speak to a billing system? And that tool provides you the flexibility to both create that and attach that to the order itself, as well as know how to surface it for each individual product or placement in that order. Contractual lifecycle management, which is a contractual tool. And you can think of it in the advertising space as an insertion order, creating that particular contract to say this is what the media plan is going to be. But it could be in the B2B space, a way to manage contracts between businesses. Fully versioned, redlining, ability to have electronic document signage as well too. And then the ancillary products, which are digital gateways, the ability to take money. So maybe you're doing a purchase flow and you want to take money from people. Integrating with your billing system so that when you actually create an order, you actually let your downstream billing system or financial system know how things need to be invoiced and paid for. And then integrations to other systems in our ecosystem like loyalty management and feedback, if you're going to use points to drive behavior as well too. And then on top of that, we have our actual core product itself, our subscriber lifecycle management, advertising sales management, commerce management, and licensing and rights management, and really focus on the first two in terms of our efforts right now. And these are really verticalized products. They are not fully complete because every single customer has their own business processes, the way that they actually manage their business. And those can be customized, but these will get you, I'd say 80% of the way there. Same thing on the advertising sales. We focus really on the supply side, but the ability for you to actually work with the particular downstream systems that you have. You may have a particular way you do business, approve financials, approve creative, approve legal and executive oversight, the negotiation process for actually doing things through legal. All of those are things that can be customized, but the core ability to create your media plans are out there.
Stan, thank you so much for taking us through that. I think this is tremendously valuable for people to understand really what Media Cloud does and how it's built under the hood. And I'm excited about the continued innovation that we'll be working with in partnership with Salesforce on around Media Cloud in 2022 and beyond. So I hope this was informative for all of our viewers, and hopefully we can have some conversations about Salesforce and B2 and media solutions and how we can work together. Thanks again, Stan.
Thanks, appreciate it, and looking forward to working with you guys as well too.